Hi everyone, thank you for joining us with another live session with Sirus Migration, Certification and TAFE College this evening, Queensland. So we've got Miss Nathaly and Miss Henny Lane from this end, and I myself, I'm Isuru, and I've got Ashani at the end as well. So today we're going to talk about the exciting information about TAFE College and what new courses that they can offer, what are the differences in courses that they're offering, and what's TAFE Queensland anyway. Why not university, why not something else? All right, Nathaly, what will be the best way to start with what's TAFE Queensland?
Okay, so TAFE Queensland is a government-backed organisation, and we do offer a whole array of courses that will give you then entry into university. So a variety of courses starting with either certificate diplomas, advanced diplomas up to bachelor degrees. And if you want to continue, you can continue with university as well. So there's a couple of options there if you don't want to go directly to university. Save some money because the fees will be a little bit cheaper as well. And so you might want to consider coming to TAFE to do a diploma, which will give you entry into university. So a huge range of different courses that are very attractive, and that will give you definitely some employment whilst you're onshore, and hopefully some great qualification if you want to either stay or go back home. So that's why I would think that you would need, or you would want to consider TAFE Queensland as a study destination.
Sorry, I think we have a bit of a problem. We get the microphone. So there's a microphone here.
YouTube. Okay.
Sorry, Facebook viewers. I think we have a bit of an issue with the microphone.
Which we are trying to fix
Trying
now,
to fix
hopefully.
up now.
It won't take long.
Technology, see, we do offer a diploma in IT, networking, and software engineering. So here you go. We'll need to enroll you in it. That's all good. There's always technical issues with any events these days, so we all have to be a bit more
depend on technology
patient.
too much sometimes.
We
That's
do.
really nice.
We certainly do realise that these days, don't we? Definitely.
So going back to the differences in what's about TAFE Queensland and things. Also, something that brings up is where does TAFE stands in AQF? Maybe Henny can support us.
Okay, sure.
Australian qualification framework.
Okay, so Australian, I guess it's all institution of AQF, which is in Australia, that is Australian framework.
Yeah.
We deliver for international students from certificate 3 to associate degree in civil engineering. We also have a bachelor with a dental, but majority of our program is equal to the first level of university. So this will offer a student pathway and also increase your ranking when you want to go to university. So for example, you don't meet the entry requirement to go to that university, don't feel despair because you have a pathway and it's also cost effective. Study at TAFE you will be exit with a diploma program and also with the experience, which is you needed to have a skill and qualification to be competitive in a job market nowadays.
That's right.
So with TAFE, we offer both, and that would be very advantage for a student who wants to be position themselves in a job market for a future.
Okay, that also brings another valid point, because when we advise students, sometimes depending on what they want to study, sometimes we ask them to choose TAFE first, because we have also had personal experience as well as the students' experience. University is great, but then the TAFE gives them that practical knowledge that they need to get a job. Could you please tell the viewers a little bit about that?
So vocational placement is what we call it, which is work experience, whichever you want to use. So a lot of our courses will have a component in it, which will have vocational placement. Now, the very important things with that is that we provide the vocational placement experience location. So you don't have to go knocking on doors and trying to find somewhere to do that placement. We will actually provide that for you. So your course might have 360, 400 or more hours of vocational placement, which in the beginning you'll probably be, say, for example, at school 3 days a week. After one term, you will be placed with a company to do that vocational placement. So that's not doing cup of teas and washing floors and things. It's actually has to be linked to whatever you're studying. So you're getting that real experience with it. So when you graduate, you actually have a qualification, but you also have all that experience. And if the company needs someone and they've trained you for a couple of years, it makes sense that they might want to keep you on as well. So that's a very important part of your training that we feel that has a big edge on the in the market, because you just job ready.
Especially for an international student when they first arrive to Australia,
That's right.
that would be a big help for them. Plus, the time that they spend in TAFE studying, they will get credit from their bachelor's degree. For example, nursing. Many of our students are interested in studying nursing these days. So if you come to TAFE to study nursing, the nursing course in TAFE is 1.5 years, and they will get 1 year, full-time 1 year credit. So it will be equivalent to your first year of the bachelor's degree, where you will only have to study 2 years in university. But to add to that, you will have another qualification as an enrolled nurse, where you can get a job part-time while you start your bachelor's degree, even before you start your bachelor's degree.
So you can be working in the industry.
Exactly.
And getting good money for it too.
That's right.
The same as everyone else.
Another thing I want to add into it, majority of our program deliver in simulation environment. So it's you basically study, for example, if you study nursing, you would be studying in an environment looks and just like a hospital. For example, it is when we host G20, that South Bank campus is actually converted to a mini hospital for President Obama.
Wow.
So the standard, it is international standard. And if it's good enough for president, why not you?
I was actually fortunate. You guys invited me to your Gold Coast campus. I was very impressed with the facilities that you have for students. I got scared looking at the mannequins.
And we are actually in the process of upgrading that at the moment. So we're spending an extra 5 million upgrading all those facilities. Just to, these facilities that we've got, as Henny said, we could actually, if we needed an extra hospital, we can operate as a hospital with just that equipped. So it's really good, whether it's the Gold Coast or Brisbane or any of our other campuses. They are all well equipped to be used as hospitals should we need it.
Not just that, but for the students who are studying commercial cookery, then you do have the kitchen set up there, and I think there's a restaurant that's facilitated by the kitchen, and students can
So the students are building all these skills, operating the restaurant there, so you can go and visit whilst we are actually they're studying and they're serving the food, taking orders, doing everything. And so we are all got all these practical things in place, but they're also working in hospitality around Australia, which is fantastic.
So I guess for students or clients, one of the main things is where TAFE comes into picture is we got universities to develop your academic career, whereas TAFE gives you job-ready work experience, vocational training. So for in AQF system, you have certificate 1, 2, 3, 4, diploma and advanced diploma, sometimes associate degrees through TAFE colleges. And then for you to get into bachelor's degrees and master's degrees or PhDs, you have to go into your university. Certain courses when it comes to, like Ashani said, the nursing or cookery, bakery, mechanic, marine biology, GT.
Marine craft construction.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you do that sort of courses, one of the main part is as a course requirement, there is a 360-hour work experience requirement. I know TAFE is offering over and above.
Yeah.
How does this work? And do you look after finding the work experience?
Yes.
Or what's the
We have contact with all our industry partners. We're well connected, and in fact, we have them calling every week saying, we need more students. You have some students in some area. There's really a shortage in it. So we do the placement for all those. We provide that. We don't ask students to go knocking on doors. We just give them where you can go there, or there's this one and that one. Same with the nursing. We will provide public and private hospital, aged care facility, and so forth. And the same with all the trades. We've got great partnership with all the industries, and we place all our students to do their vocational placement, which is a major component of their studies.
Yeah, and adding to that, what I would just want to say, all our teacher every 2-3 years, they have to go to the industry. It's called upskilling.
Yeah.
So they have to have very latest information or learning all the new equipment for our students to learn. Because with us, we are government institution, it has been set a benchmark. All our students have to be past minimum of 80% and more. Otherwise, there is no funding from the government.
right?
That's we are also learning new things about TAFE, which is great. So can students, everyone knows that people are stuck offshore who are desperate to come to Australia to begin their study journey. Do you have some facility to help them? Can they study online with you?
You go, Penny.
Yeah.
Okay, so with TAFE Queensland, because of our program, majority of them have practical.
Yes.
So if we do the beginning, put it expression of interest, not many students wants to do that because a lot of students from all different regions coming to us because they want that experience and they want that pathway to have an option. Either they want to stay in Australia to be employed, and when you're overseas, you cannot learn how to cook. Also with us, it is
Online.
not.
Cook online.
With us, it's not online, it's a virtual delivery. So
Yes.
online, basically, anybody can run online video in demand. But virtually, our teacher have to be in the class by himself showing how to cut these veggies, how to cook this meat, what you needed to looking at and everything. So it's not feasible for us to deliver. And also because of the time frame.
Yes.
We deliver in
okay.
62 different
Yeah.
countries.
Yeah.
Currently, we only offer English. Even that, we're struggling with the time frame.
It only attracts
Yeah.
a few, like Japan, Korea.
Yeah.
Those that are within an hour or two
Yeah.
behind, that works. But if they are, even in Sri Lanka, if we start at 8 o'clock, you're not going to get up at 4
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So we just
Right.
got to be mindful of the time. We do have some English testers and free little lessons online that are free of charge. But we do deliver English, EAP and upper intermediate and so forth. But it's kind of limited depending on where you are at the moment. If you are here in Australia, magic, you can study now.
Yeah.
But if you are offshore, the time might be a factor.
Sure. And then they have to just keep an eye and get an offer letter for a future dated offer letter for a next intake.
Looking at
Please,
probably
yeah.
July. We've got no magic crystal ball at the moment. We are all hoping that, with COVID and the vaccine in sight, that now we're feeling a lot more reassured, and Australia is definitely a safe destination, and we've managed to suppress this virus so well that I think a lot of people would be happy to come here too, and
That's true.
we feel very privileged to be here.
We
But
have had many inquiries.
yes, we don't have that
Sure.
date for sure at the moment, but we are hoping very soon to welcome our international students who are very important to us and brings a nice mixture to the culture in different classes, and they're very valuable to us in Australia.
Okay.
And I guess we got a few other questions
Yeah.
to go through, but one of our clients from India, Mr. Onkar Singh, he's got a question. I'm from India.
Yeah.
did diploma. He's followed diploma in mechanical engineering, and he's asking what are my further options to study in Australia. So, what can TAFE Queensland offer?
Okay, so if you study diploma of mechanical engineering, you can either choose, we have a mechanical program in diploma as well and advanced diploma, or they can take associate degree in civil engineering. That's more about logistics, not mechanical. A lot of time, I think it's, I do know a little bit about Indian qualification. A lot of time, a lot of country in Asia, the student doing a theory, not practical. And I think it's misconception also. People think mechanical, it's mean mechanical, but it's not really when they study diploma of mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with automotive and it's nothing to do with mechanical. I'm not even sure why they put that, they use that name to begin with. So I guess for the student, they can study advanced diploma or they can study associate degree, depending on I guess the career path, what the student wants to do or what they looking at.
Sure. Great.
So how many courses does TAFE offer to international students? You should
Should I start counting? We do have a big
many
Okay,
courses.
so many courses we offer program at TAFE Queensland. We study from aviation, agriculture, automotive, business, creative art, photo imaging,
Hospitality,
interior
fashion,
design,
fashion,
design,
health, film and TV,
and sport. And
fitness.
we are going to offer a sport program
Sure, yeah,
diploma.
we've got one of our clients.
That's combined with a couple of the sport club, and
Yes.
that's to do with
cricket.
ready for that.
Wow, that's great.
That's
Yes.
a new one, yeah.
Yes,
We've got coaching, we've got
so
tennis, we've
yeah.
got golf. There's just a
Yeah.
whole variety of courses that just keeps being added to our program. The full list is on our website on
Yeah.
the tafeqld.edu.au.
And
So,
we are in a really critical time of the new revolution, I would say, because 2020, we all feel like we're stepping into a new era. Everyone's talking about in 10 years there won't be the same jobs available in the
Yes,
market. There's
that's
a lot of things.
exactly.
So I guess if we're looking at new programs, new skills to new people in
Yep.
another 10 years, I guess you'll be the first step to go to. You'll have to adjust yourself. I heard some rumors
Yeah.
about cybersecurity is in
Yes,
place and
yeah, we
STEM's
do
We
being
have.
already have.
reconsidered.
Yes.
So what are the new other excitements?
Well, I attended the International Business Forum 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Virtually, this is 11 o'clock at night. I have no life.
Lucky you.
I have no life. So they actually talking about it's a lot of job. It's even 10 years, some of the job is not even available just yet.
But cybersecurity
Yeah.
is one of the courses that we've
Yeah.
brought on to our new price list recently as well. So cybersecurity is definitely with the Diploma of Information Technology
And I
Networking.
think it's probably a lot of them also sport because of the COVID. People become much more, I guess, health conscious in some ways because I don't know how true it is. People get worried. If you're not healthy, it's easier to get COVID. So
Yeah, that is the rumor. So
So-
people may
so
be
I
looking
think-
into that.
Yeah. Okay.
to be honest, animal studies it's become very popular.
Wow.
Also, the price of the usually puppy 1,000 have become 10,000 because everybody's
Yeah.
going out to use excuse to take their puppy at the park. So this is another. It's a lot of. I think it's a lot of things.
Mental health as well.
Mental health.
So what health courses do you offer?
Nursing. We have nursing and mental health. And I think
So
that
there's
Dental
dental
technology.
assisting, and so that's a certificate 3 in dental assisting. We've got a diploma of dental technology, diploma of anesthetic, which is
Yeah.
quite unusual but very popular as well and so good. We've got a Bachelor of Dental Prosthetics, which is one of our bachelors. Certificate 4 in Laboratory Technique. Then we've got the Cert 4 in Laboratory and the diploma that goes with it as well. Diploma of Mental Health and the all-time favourite, the Diploma of Nursing.
Music, yeah.
So that's a bit
That's
of
a pretty good mixture of
Yes.
health courses
Yeah.
that you have.
Yeah.
And can you please tell us about your articulation? So what are the pathways for students if they want to go for
To go
a
to
higher
university.
education after TAFE?
Most of our diplomas will give you up to 1 year credit. So say if you did nursing, you would do the diploma of nursing with us and you would enter directly into the second year of university. So you're saving on not necessarily a lot of time, but you're saving definitely financially the difference in doing the extra year in the university.
Yeah.
Most of our diplomas will be an equivalent to the first year of university. So by coming to TAFE, you're not actually not going to university. It's a pathway which will
That's
save you
right.
some time. If your English is not quite at that level, you would be able to get in with a little bit lower IELTS. If you needed a 7, you might be able to get in with a 5.56 or 6.5, but you have that pathway. As soon as you've completed your diploma with us, you will get that articulation straight into our pathway, university pathway, which are basically most of them, all of them.
And TAFE being a government institute and being standing there for a very many years, most of the universities do accept all TAFE qualifications with no questions.
Correct.
That's correct.
Yes.
And with the TAFE Queensland, we are 137 years.
137 years.
137 years.
It's
We're
older
not
than
going
me.
anywhere.
And it's also
We're here to stay.
the number of students study at TAFE Queensland, it's more than combined all university in Queensland. We have 120 to 130,000 per year enrollment.
Wow.
So we have 83% our student basically get job, 87% got their pathway to university, and we got 92% employment satisfaction. Obviously, with us, we won 4 years in a row for a Provider of the Year in Queensland, and currently the record holder for International Training Provider of the Year for Australia.
Wow, that's pretty
TAFE
good
Queensland or
achievements.
TAFE altogether?
TAFE Queensland only.
Congratulations,
Wow,
that's a big achievement.
Yes,
Yes.
we do have a big achievement.
Another good thing studying.
Ah, great.
Yeah.
I don't know if the camera
So
can
another
pick
good
it
thing
up.
study at TAFE.
Sorry,
You
that's the
can
wording.
choose study location. Where do you want to study? Same tuition fee, same structure of the study, deposit, everything's the same except timetable little bit different. That's all.
That's right. So
Can you please tell us like which cities, just give us a bit of an understanding? You are
Of
throughout Queensland.
yeah, all
Yes.
of Queensland. So we've got campuses right throughout Queensland, but the major one for international students are Cairns, basically the Whitsundays, with the Toowoomba, Sunshine Coast, Bundaberg, all that area there, Mooloolaba. Then we've got Toowoomba, Brisbane, Gold Coast are the main one, but we do, like, if you're looking at Sunshine Coast, it will be Bundaberg and Mooloolaba,
Right.
as Burridge and Nambour. So we do have other locations, but mostly that's where we tend to have most of our
So you
courses.
pretty
and-
much have wings all over Queensland,
Queensland.
including
Yes.
regional and metropolitan areas.
Correct.
Yeah, so most of the states Nathaly mentioned are the cities. They fall under regional as well. So for
Yeah.
our international students who are looking into studying in regional, for the benefits that they can get towards their next visas, their subclass 485, or they are looking at permanent residency. So these studying in these regional areas will definitely help.
Yeah.
And,
Gold Coast is
Gold
now
Coast
regional
also.
as well, so
Yeah.
except for Brisbane,
Brisbane.
really,
Yeah.
we,
Yes,
all
okay.
our
That's
campuses
only
are
Brisbane.
regional.
That's
Yeah.
right. It's only Brisbane. The one is metropolitan. All the others is regional.
Sorry to jump out of the
Yep.
the routine again. We've got a few questions that
Yep.
we
Oh, good.
would like to put our attention towards. We've got Glenn from South Africa. He's asking us,
Good
he's got
afternoon. I
two
have two
20-year-old
20-year-old
children, and they're semi-skilled, and they're asking what study options we've got in Australia. So,
Actually, to come to that, to answer that question, I would also like to add to that and ask Nathaly and Penny, what is the entry requirement? Can you please explain? Because same in Sri Lanka, South Africa, they have year 12.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do get clients asking like they're semi-skilled. They may not have year 12. Do we have a pathway for that?
clients in Australia.
Oh, it's in Australia.
Yeah, if they're wanting to do a certificate equivalent to a year 10 is sufficient. But if they want to do straight into a diploma, then we will need a high school or completion. But if they just want to do a certificate 3, in a lot of the trades, we do have a lot of trades. If you've completed a year 10 or equivalent, that should suffice. So
for someone who only has year 10, they do have the ability to package that certificate 3
with the diploma.
That
Correct.
way they don't need year 12 even
Correct.
to get in.
Yes.
That would be great news for most of our clients because they do look at some of them, they stop their studies at year 10 because there is O levels and A levels for Sri Lanka and some other countries as well.
That's right.
So they can get into TAFE.
Correct.
Most of your trade courses start with the certificate 3
Correct.
and then go into
A diploma.
So-
But if they don't, sorry for
No,
coming
no.
in, Isuru. The other thing is if you haven't done, we've got the ATP, which is adult tertiary preparation. So if you're over 18 years of age and you haven't done 11 and 12, you can actually do that. And that will give you 1 year, that will give you straight entry into a diploma or even university. So, you know, there's a lot of pathways there. If you haven't quite completed year 12 or equivalent in your own country, there's definitely plenty of ways. And this is why we're so good at that. We're really the link between the high schools, university, and, you know, both. So
Numerically, sometimes confuses you when we think about certificate 3, skipping cert for going into diploma.
Yeah.
But I guess in Australia, cert 3 is mostly focusing on you getting your hands dirty, go into the field and do your work.
Correct.
Whereas cert 4 is more tuning yourself into a foundation level in theory to get you into the diploma, right?
Yes.
correct.
I guess so that way, if someone's got grade 10 and whether they fail year 12 or they not successfully completed grade A levels or grade 12, they can still do that
Correct.
cert 3 gap and go into diploma directly if they want to still
Absolutely.
continue.
sometimes that can help rather than doing a foundation in a university.
Correct.
Because foundation, sometimes it's not so tailored into what you want to study after the foundation. Whereas certificate 3 is a really good base foundation in actually what you want to do. If it's mechanic, then it is mechanic.
That's it.
Even the certificate 3, you start from that rather than foundation where you have maybe 1 or 2 subjects related to the bachelor's
Correct.
that you want to do.
And the other advantage with that is when you continue, you've got an Australian qualification which allows you to work and also, you know, pay for your next studies and living expenses and everything else. So there's lots of advantages to it.
I
But
guess
yes, definitely.
while studying, getting experience is a critical thing because I remember when we did I did a double degree in networking and software engineering and data communication.
Right.
When we in second, third year, we always found the people who came from TAFE background had more hands-on experience programming their routers, getting into the networking and getting into the Cisco systems much more than what we did because they know what, like for us, we virtually or mentally know where the
Your head's
systems
like
are.
this, but your
Whereas these
hands
guys,
are
they've seen everything. They've touched it, they've seen it.
It's very true because I mean I know myself. I'm same with you in that position. I think it's a lot of I guess majority Asian country, especially parents and society. It's back home. I guess a lot of Asian country. If you apply for a job, they would ask you which university you graduated from. But here they would ask you what skill you what skill you bring into the table. Because as soon as student is 18 years old, they have to pay them adult salary, which is minimum of $18.95 an hour. So if I own the company, why should I hire somebody who doesn't know make the cappuccino? If somebody's hungry or somebody thirsty, they want you to make the food. They don't want to know you are waiving your beautiful qualification from top university.
It's good to have a big head and not have the knowledge.
Yeah,
You need the hands-on.
have both. I mean, I'm not saying don't go to university because I do, but it's good to have both to be competitive, to position yourself better than others
in the job market.
TAFE would be the best place to get that done without a doubt.
Because of the affiliations, I guess, you have with the job market and the industries and the other programs that you have in place, TAFE has a good kickoff for you as a student to put you into the right direction in hands-on training and then get you prepared for the job market as well as for your next step into the university. So the suitability varies from student to student and what your end goal is. So it's very important to plan your pathway with the professionals. So whether it's us or someone else, we always recommend you to sit down, have a good chat, understand where you want to go, what you want to achieve, and understand your pathway. We still have a few questions. Maybe we'll get to a question now from Pradeep Singh. Hi, Pradeep. Thank you for the question. Good morning. I guess you're from India. Good morning to you. He's passed diploma in electronics and communication engineering in 2012. After I have continued the job experience, can I apply for study permit in trade course in same field? I can't see why not. He's been in the...
What is your criteria for looking at an applicant?
Put Jeff in the spot. Thank you, Pradeep. That's a good question.
So, I guess, you finished 2012. Now we'll be looking at 2021. So obviously you already have the 8 years study gap. So first of all, we needed to look at why the students suddenly decided want to study at TAFE. What are outcome the student wanted? We needed to, obviously, with this, I can assume the student looking at probably pathway to PR or employable in Australia. So these sort of things, they needed to address it to justify that, because not to just ask, because what the TAFE Queensland asking, it would be similar to what immigration looking at this. So with us, our statement of purpose, our entry requirement is in sync with immigration to make sure the student will get the visa, will be successfully doing the course. So this is what we basically looking at, but I'm not saying not possible because
it's case by case. You need to review every single
especially
applicant.
If you've got a big gap like that. It's not a straightforward case, so we look at everything, and that's why the statement of purpose explaining why your return on investment, what you're doing, etc., is very important. So yes.
And also TAFE Queensland has a great system, a really good admin team where we can communicate well with. And then if you explain your why you want to study and explain that with good facts and reasons, so there is that is the criteria. And then if we address all, then they may have a chance.
That's right, and that's why agents like Sirus, who do a fantastic job, will be able to guide you and help you through the statement of purpose and all the checkpoint that we need to have a successful applicant. So, we've been working with this company for a long time, and it's really appreciated. And, we've known each other for a long time. We know what works with our students. So if you're tuning into this and you've got some thoughts about coming to study with TAFE, these are the guys for you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Nathaly. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Also, can we talk about the average fees so
Yeah.
applicants can get an understanding and compare the
Yeah.
fees of university and college and all
Right.
that as well, just
Cost
an
of
average
COE.
cost.
Yeah, okay, so at the moment, say we have a course and we're just gonna take any course on the list and let's do a tick.
Mini,
So,
mini,
mini, mini, mo, doesn't matter. So let's do diploma hospitality management or business or whatever. About 1 year, $15,000. So you looking at, we don't ask for a whole semester, 6 months and 6 months. We are actually, because of COVID, we're only asking for a deposit of $1,000. So say your semester was say $5,000 or $6,000. What you do, you pay that $1,000 for the semester. Week 6 after you start your study with us. So 6 weeks after you started, then you pay half of the remainder of your semester. So if it was 6,000, you pay 1, so you got 2.5 to pay. And then week 10, so a month later, you pay your other 2.5. So you've got it in like 3 payments. Now, if you did have some difficulties, we would review that case by case, but we don't want you to be struggling either. So normally it's $1,000 deposit and 6 weeks after you start. So if you apply now, say for July or January, then obviously you wouldn't be paying anymore until you start the course 6 weeks after. So there'll be March and then April before you do the next. And then you've got the second semester, which you can have also the same payment structure. So we are really trying to look at ways of assisting students so we don't have to pay like we used to a whole semester, but $15,000 for a whole year is not a lot of money compared to going directly to university, and you've done your first year with us. So if you're looking, 15 compared to 30 or more, so it's a big saving, and then you go into that second year in most cases. So you've saved time and money as well. So there's, we work together. Like we're really there to work together with university.
Yeah, you're
They're
not
our partners.
competitors, you're just complementing each
Exactly,
other.
exactly. It's
Can
not a
we-
competition.
Can we look into nursing at the moment? The charges are, I think, all together
It's
it's
a
about 15,000.
24,000.
24,000
For 1.5 years.
For
1.5
18
years.
months. And
So it's
So-
$8,000.
for one semester. But you would be exit as a EN,
Enrolled nurse.
Enrolled nurse,
nurse, and then you would
Enrolled nurse.
enroll nurse, and then you would, it used to be called enroll indoors nurse, but that's just changed to enroll nurse.
Yeah.
And then you can go to university to study your registered nurse,
So another
which
2
is
years.
another 2 years. And some university obviously offer also a summer school, which is you can take
Finish it
extra
in a-
subject, and it's you can finish till 3 years.
Yeah.
So it depending of the university.
And also there, sorry for cutting in, Henny, we also provide the placement. So we're not asking you to go knocking on hospital and aged care facility. We do provide all those placements, which are very important, and you need to have those placements, the vocational placement hours to complete your qualifications. So that's very important.
Something really good I've seen with it is like this, most of the nursing students especially, towards the end of their course, they get the opportunity to, continue working with the placement places
Yes.
as an indoors nurse, and also those healthcare facilities or the hospitals, they're willing to give them the job as a registered nurse as soon as they graduate from the
Yes,
university.
that's
So
correct.
they don't have to step back and search for jobs afterwards. So you're in the job market straight away.
You've had time to sort of show what you're capable of. You've really established yourself, and if you spend that time with that aged care or that hospital, they know what you're worth.
That's right.
And so, why wouldn't they?
Indoors nurses, they do.
Enrolled nurses.
Enrolled nurses, they still do quite a few job duties of a registered nurse,
That's
even though they're
correct.
not.
Now it is,
yes.
I think it's more than 70% of the duties same
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
And a lot of registered nurses doing a lot of the doctor stuff. I know this for sure. My son is working at Mater Private.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I think it's the medication that is really
Yeah.
done by
Yeah.
the registered nurse, but the rest is very similar really to be able to work together.
Ashani, you want to read the next question?
Yeah, Mr. Abi, when I just searched into the Australian immigration website to calculate the points, there is one thing that I couldn't understand. Well, my course is for 1.9 years. The question is, have you completed 2-year professional year course in Australia? Would this 1.9 years come into this category? So I guess this question is not for TAFE, but more for us.
Yes.
I really need to look at your confirmation of enrollment. I need to see how many weeks the course is registered in CRI-Course for. Then I would be able to tell you if that course is acceptable to claim the points for the 2 years.
Yeah,
I think
it all depends on.
So that's a question for these people to answer, nothing to do with
Yes.
with it. Although we do understand that a lot of our courses would meet those requirements, but we don't give really advice on visa.
That's right.
So we're just an education provider.
Sure. And then I've got another one. Why Indian students won't get offer letter for certificates and diploma for 3 years in TAFE, New South Wales?
Well, we are in Queensland, so one is, although the doors are open as from this week to New South Wales, we can't answer that question.
What about TAFE Queensland? Do you offer? Yeah.
Okay, I just want to explain that though. I think you just needed to be aware and do your research. Why do you want to spend 3 years when you only needed 2 years? That's one question. Question number one you want to ask yourself. And I noticed a lot of provider adding advanced diploma. That's SVP is long gone. You don't need advanced unless needed in that qualification. So people still stick to that. I guess for the
Streamline visa processing.
Yes, but it's also to hold on to the student because your primary program will be advanced diploma, not the diploma. For us, we do have some advanced diploma because it's needed for them to do the pathway to bachelor program.
Yeah.
So I guess it is also a lot of students think this is a mess. A lot of students choose, especially from India, going to Melbourne and New South Wales. And Queensland is always new kids on the block. But what you needed to think about it though,
Queensland is just the
It's a
best.
battle of scales or battle of
when you
taste.
think about it, Queensland cost of living it's cheaper.
Much cheaper than
Much cheaper,
Victoria or
and
New
it's
South
more
Wales.
affordable.
I guess not many people know Brisbane. Everybody knows
Sydney or
and Melbourne.
That's correct.
So, but
Yeah.
once they come to Brisbane, they fall in love with the sunshine
Absolutely.
state
Yeah.
and never wants to leave.
And the opportunities like there's a lot of
Especially if you're coming
resourceful.
from India or Sri Lanka, I mean, the weather is so much better.
and Gold Coast is only 100 kilometers, not even that 60 kilometers away. We got another question from Mr. Mohammed Ahmed. We missed it earlier from Pakistan. He's done his bachelor's in agriculture and now want to admit into Flinders University. Is it a wise option? Look,
You have to take that offline.
there's looking. We just have to look. I mean, Flinders is a very good university, and they have good reputation. So there's options available. There's you have to consider what content of education you want to pursue with, like what's
And also, what is your end goal?
Yes.
Maybe get in touch with us, send us an email. Once you share your CV with us, we may be able to find out exactly what you're trying to achieve and give you better advice,
Agriculture is in-
personalized advice.
agriculture, agri-technology is in good demand in Australia at the moment. There's a good opportunity for, I mean, even in the whole world. There are good universities, like depends on where you want to go in Australia as well as a Queensland, South Australia.
We're not the answer to every course and every destination. You're tuning into Queensland, but if you want to go New South Wales, of course, go to New South Wales. We do have our business and agriculture and horticulture as well. But if you're wanting to go to, of course, contact these guys who will be able to give you all this advice.
There's a great course that one of our fellow affiliated institutes offering here in Queensland.
In Toowoomba.
Leaders College. They offer a course called Agribusiness,
Yep.
where they
Yeah.
have incorporate agriculture with business.
Yes.
So it depends moment when it comes
That's
to
the first
which course and
Yeah, we do have
what you want to
agribusiness.
achieve.
Yeah, we do. I'm just looking for
So,
websites on the first courses, I think.
Send us your information and we'll look deep into it. I think you've done a wise option. It's institute-wise, you picked up the right institute where you want to.
What do we have in again?
Oh,
Agribusiness
agriculture
as in
and horticulture.
diploma or
It's
Yes.
a
bachelor's
diploma.
degree?
Yeah. In
Diploma of
diploma.
agribusiness management.
Yeah.
Management.
Oh, that's in Toowoomba.
Yes,
Right.
most of it, because that's a free ball really of Queensland, so that's where a lot of agribusiness, rural,
Yeah.
is all done in
That's
agribusiness management and agriculture, so that's all in
Yeah.
Toowoomba.
that's the
Because
one year
I think
program.
majority student pathway to university, the one in
Yeah.
Toowoomba as
That's
well.
it.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
which makes all sense to be all in that area too, but as
Yeah.
we said, it's not the only place that we grow things in Australia.
We have another question from Nilushan Disanaika. If the university doesn't require English requirement, do we still have to get the IELTS requirement to be done when applying for visa? For instance, 6.5 for masters.
Okay.
Nilushana,
So
I
that's
guess you're
for
from Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And Sri Lanka is currently level 1, so it depends on which university you apply to. If you
Yeah.
fall under level 1, then you don't need to show English for your visa.
Yeah.
It depends on the level of the country and level of the university that you choose.
Yeah.
But for you, I believe you wouldn't need English for your
It's a matrix, it's a Griffith University.
Griffith University.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you
No, you
wouldn't
don't
need
need
English.
I think a lot of time though, if I can just add to that one, I know with the level 1 university visa, they don't need to ask, but we have those experience. Sometimes immigration asks. Any student still needed to meet English and academic requirement.
Yeah.
So university not just because they don't ask, it's not necessarily anybody don't meet the English requirement can just enter the university. It's same with the visa, but with us, everything have to be meet that checkpoint.
Just to make sure we don't set you up for failure, that you've got the
Exactly.
right
Right.
level of
So
English.
that's
It's not
the
about
most
the
important.
rest.
Yeah,
it's really-
sometimes it's not just for the requirement. Sometimes you have to do it to understand your
Yes.
level as well
Exactly.
and see if you need help or.
I mean, to be honest, last year, I mean, I'm not going to mention any university. We have 6 university students who's supposed to be going to their master and want to change to us, taking a test, they not even pass for our certificate level entry requirement. So this is another things what student need to be aware of.
Yeah.
We cannot set student for fail because with us going to be already we set a benchmark for us.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings another question. So there are many students who are currently in Australia and studying with different providers. They may have a change of heart. They may be struggling at university,
Yeah.
and they may want to come to TAFE
Yes.
once they realize, what they want to do. Do you accept this kind of students
Yes.
who wants to change providers?
Yes.
Yeah, we've had quite a few, especially when they've come in. We've had some from Sri Lanka who's finished their level there
Mhm.
and gone to university and finding that they were missing the fundamentals and ended up doing a side step through us to go back there later on, which doesn't, it's doable, it's possible. But once they're here, they don't realize when they're back at home, wherever you might be, Pakistan, India, wherever, you think, I'm going to fit straight in there. But sometimes it's not quite the perfect fit. So sometimes you need to be doing something else. And we do. I mean, the provider has to let you go as well,
Sure, that's
wherever
right.
you are.
Yeah.
But if they're happy to let you go and you apply for a new visa, then you should be able to
Yes.
transition across.
So
That's
I
great
mean,
news.
for us in that sort of situation, if I can just elaborate that, students just needed to basically telling us, are they going back to university after TAFE?
Yes.
And then they don't need to change their visa. We just needed to see the new letter of offer from the university.
Mm.
If the student just wants to drop from the university, they needed to tell us or show us the email from the university there has been cancelled and released in prisons, because otherwise we cannot take that student.
Yeah.
So we as a government institution, we don't override the system, because I know many others just override it and then issue ECRE.
Yeah, we're
Which
going to
is
do the right
really-
thing
yeah,
by
we do the right
immigration.
thing.
Yes.
We would like that too.
Of course you would. Yeah.
We have a few final questions. Maybe we'll before we wrap up.
Yep.
Ashraf, MD. Hello everyone. Hi. My wife completing postgraduate diploma in New Zealand, and again she wants to study masters in Australia.
Yep.
What is the success rate of visa to get? Give the best guidance. A broad question, Ashraf. We would love to.
Yeah, maybe
To
please
now-
get in touch with us.
Yeah.
Send us an email. You can email us at reception@sirus.com.au and send us your CV and the wife's previous qualification. Again, we will look at what you want to achieve, and then we will give you more tailored advice to your needs.
Nilusha, thank you. Good luck with your cybersecurity masters.
Yeah, if you need any help with anything, visa or offer letter, just let us know, Nilusha. We'll assist you with anything.
Thank you. And
Okay, what are the best courses to
That's a
study
good
now?
question, actually. Yeah, I like that question.
Well, at least you're happy.
So what are the best courses to study?
Well, to be honest, at the moment, it's anything to do with health, especially- especially nursing.
Yeah, that would be one of my
Yeah,
recommendations.
my all-time favorite,
And
nursing.
also manufacturing and construction.
Yeah.
Because that is a lot of things going on for the government. It's a lot of building going on because of the.
Cert 3 in
I-
carpentry and Cert 4 in
I guess we
business
will
and
have
engineering.
a lot of different programs. It's
All the
also-
trades, really.
So it's a lot of trades.
And cybersecurity and IT and engineering construction, these courses.
Yeah.
I also tell my clients, it's not just about, when you ask what's the best course, sometimes they look at permanent residency, but sometimes I do tell them, if you can't see blood, even though nursing is the best course out there, don't go for it.
No, you
Just
have
study
to.
something that
You
you
have
You're
to
really
like
passionate
and
about
what
it.
you're
Yeah.
really good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you will find your pathway.
Yes.
Yes, I also told my client all that. Also, I said, if you're going to study, you need to have a passion about it.
Exactly.
You needed to self-searching. That is your goal, because 3.5 years can be long.
That's
long.
right.
Yeah. We do have a big range of product, and Australia and Queensland has a lot to offer. So you really need to be looking at what you want to do rather than what can I do to get PR. And we
Yeah.
can't give advice on that. These people will be able to. But really, if you're going to spend a lot of time in it, you really got to love what you're doing.
Correct. Mr. Abi, thank you for your question. Look, I think 1.9 years, I haven't seen many courses for 1.9 years. I guess it depends on what's they registered,
Are
what
they
the
talking
university is
about
registered.
92 weeks?
Yeah, 92 weeks is the
I think
magic
so.
number.
Yeah,
92
most
weeks.
of our
Yes.
most of our programs do cover that
Yeah.
for the same reasons.
Yeah.
Minimum of 92 weeks.
Minimum of 92 weeks. That falls under 2 academic years. So it
That's
doesn't have to be
correct,
24 months because you can take out some time for your breaks.
Yeah.
So minimum of 92 academic weeks is what
So those
we
who
look at.
who don't know, not sure what we're talking about.
Yeah.
When you study 92, a course that is registered for 92 weeks or over in Australia, then you get, if you were to proceed with your permanent residency applications, in general skill migration, you get 5 extra points. And then if you were to study that in a regional area, you get another extra 5 points. So that's probably why a couple of our clients are questioning it. And then
I think a lot of people are asking about it.
Yeah.
I
That's
think that 1.9 years, it used to be master. It's some university offering for 1 year.
1.5 years,
1.5
masters.
year or 1
So,
year. Now they make it to 2 years because of for that reason.
Maybe
Student-
Abhi, send us an email,
Yes.
reception@sirus.com.au. Send us
That's
your
exactly,
COE.
yeah.
Let us verify that for you as well. I
We will
think we
be
are coming to the end
end
of
of
our
the session. I
session.
think the ladies are tired as well. Thank you very much for your time, and you're
It's
so
been a
kind to
real
come here.
pleasure, and thank you for joining in
Yeah.
today. And I hope that our session was a bit more informative and it answers some of your questions. But if you've got lots of questions, fantastic. Please contact reception at sirus.com.au. And they're the best. So, thank you for being with us today. If you've got more questions, please send them
If
through.
I want to give you one advice,
Yeah.
it's very important though. I myself as a student long time ago, the most important, do your research, but the
Yes.
city, the program, and the agent who guide you, because some of them it is not as qualified as these people. I know them for a
Thank
long
you.
time, so make sure your agent is
It's
a
here to
key,
help you.
yeah, it's a key point to your success
Yeah.
or your key point to bring you down. So take your pick and make the right decision.
Thank you. And
Thank
also
you, and
TAFE
you're the-
Queensland is a great institute. As the ladies mentioned, it's a government institute. And most of their courses will let you apply for subclass 485 after the studies. And also as a part of their course, you will get job placement. So you
Yes.
don't need to look for jobs, because if you're studying trade course, you need 360 hours for your provisional skill assessment. And most of the time, these workplaces will assist you to get your job ready program done, get the full skill assessment,
And the
And
right
if-
skills.
the right skill assessment for your permanent residency pathway, if that is what you're looking for. Or if you're looking into going to university for higher education, TAFE Queensland will give you the right base and even a part-time job, a qualification where you can get a part-time job while you're studying in university. So these ladies have been in TAFE for many years and helped us in more than
Very
many
difficult,
ways that
tough
we can mention it.
situations.
We are very honored and really glad to be here with you. I'm
That's why we're
really
here with
happy
you.
you guys could make it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Nathaly.
for
Thank
having
you,
us.
Annie. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you,
TAFE
Isuru.
Queensland. Thanks
Thank
for your
you,
time. And we
Ashani.
hope to do this again very
Yes.
soon.
Yes.
And stay tuned. Please subscribe in.
Yeah.
And so you'll get to know all our live sessions and more information about these sort of institutes, and also the courses that are available.
Yep.
Thank you very much, and
See you
wish you a
next
nice
week,
day.
guys. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye.